Another MRI? I don't want to do another one. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it is. Welcome to Mango Seed Faith. So it's about 9:30 and I have a virtual visit with my doctor to go over my blood work as far as for the brain tumor. So I'm just here in the virtual waiting room and just waiting for her to come on. I'm going to record some of it so that you can get the results along with me. And hey, so just wanted to share that part so that you can, see what's happening along the way, where I'm coming from, how high my numbers were, especially after having my sons. My number was through the roof. So stay tuned.
Well, I think with the CT scan, it should be a lot better. It'll be quick.
So I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to really feel right now. I feel emotional. I feel anxious. I just finished having my appointment. And I think the reason I'm feeling this way is because I've had so many different doctor's appointments in the past 2 weeks, and tests and stuff like that. And it's just kind of overwhelming. So I just take my mind off of those things by just celebrating Christmas, celebrating my anniversary, and celebrating, my little family, and just being grateful to God. I think for me, I don't give myself enough credit or enough time to. Okay, so I understand that God is in the midst of everything. For me, I've just always been such a strong individual that in times where I feel emotional and feeling low, I'm a little rough on myself. So I'm talking to my doctor and I'm like trying to figure out, why do I feel anxious right now? She's not giving me bad news. Why am I feeling emotional? And I've just always said I'm just so tired of just doctor after doctor after doctor. And I refuse to cry right now. Just tired, just tired, just tired. But yet still I have a lot to still give God thanks for. My numbers are still high. My numbers are still high. My doctor is not concerned. I haven't had an MRI done in 2-3 years, and that's because of the pregnancies in between. Because usually once I become pregnant, everything goes on pause. Medication goes on pause. MRI goes on pause. My son is 10 months. Every time I hear the word MRI, it's just a whole set of anxiety. And you can always watch my video where I talk about MRI and the different forms of MRI, as far as the open, the closed, the sitting. And I was talking to her about it, and she said she completely understands why I feel that way. It's like you just feel as if you've been pushed into a coffin. For me, I'm an organized person. When I know I have to do a procedure or when I have to do certain tests, I do research and stuff like that. I called the facility. They had told me, oh, it's just your head that we have to scan, so it's just your head that's going to go in. No, my whole body has to go in. And I had such a hard time because they're like, oh, it's just going to be 20 minutes. No, it was like an hour running tests so that they can see my brain to finally diagnose what's wrong and to see if there was any tumor there. And as I said, just go back to that video because it's more in detail. My husband had to put his hand in the machine to kind of relax me because at one point I was having a panic attack and they had to pull me out. And then my husband just gave me that prep talk and, come on, Stacy, God got this. You can do this. You're almost there and stuff. And of course, the reason why the test takes so long is because they're comparing. It's with and without the dye. The dye is going to allow them everything to light up for them to be able to see if there's anything there that doesn't belong there. And of course, they can give you medication. I don't want any Xanax. That's just me personally. I don't want any of that. If anything, put me to sleep then. So she's saying the next best thing is a CT scan. Now, being in the Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, when they did a CT scan, they didn't see anything. I just can't remember if it was with or without the dye. And when I researched just now, it's saying that usually the tumor has to be really big for them to see it on a CT scan. So she said that's the next best thing. So I'm going to do a CT scan, and then I'm going to do another form of blood work, so that we can compare it to the last one. I always tell individuals, when you can't take one day at a time, take 1 minute at a time. And right now, I am not at 1 day at a time. I am at 1 minute at a time. I share this stuff with you all because there's going to be times where your faith is going to be so high. And it's not that your faith is wavering, you're human. And then you have to now talk to yourself and encourage yourself and tell yourself, come on, Stacy, God got this. He's taking you through so many things. And He's the same God that has brought you from so far. You see, many times we wait for pastors to prophesy in our lives and we want a word. No, seek God for yourself. Because the same God that speaks to pastors and prophets and stuff is the same God that can speak to you. You just need to have a relationship with God. And I encourage myself all the time. I don't wait for hubby to do it. I don't wait for my parents to do it. I just encourage myself, and I begin to just speak to God. And here I am right now, just encouraging myself and say, Stacy, you got this. Yes, you've seen several doctors in these past couple of weeks, but the same God that has brought you through from you got diagnosed, 6 years ago, is the same God that's going to bring you through now. And I know that my story and my testimony has encouraged so many people. And as I've always said, when you have to cry, you cry. We are human. We are human. You have feeling. You have feelings. So as I say right now, I am not at 1 day at a time. I'm at 1 minute at a time. And eventually I'll get back to 1 day at a time. So next step now, make my appointment for my CT scan with and without contrast. Of course, they had to make sure that my kidneys are good before you do that, because the dye can affect your kidneys. I did check my kidneys in October. My kidneys were good. But if the facility says, no, we need a more accurate, a more up-to-date kidney test, then I'll do that. And then I'll let my doctor know so that she can check. Because if I need to increase my medication to get the numbers for the tumor to get it lower, then we'll do that. I'm not on the heavy medication that I was when I left the islands. My doctor don't even know how I managed being on that medication. But I'm on something that's more lighter. For example, the one that I was on in the islands, whenever I needed to increase that medication, whenever the doctors wanted me to increase it, like say by a half pill, I remember one time, it was a Sunday, we were on our way to church, and I took my medication while on the way. When we got to church, I had to sit in the car for about a half an hour because of the pill being such a strong medication. It makes you feel real like out of it and sick and stuff like that. This one, it doesn't make me feel any way at all. Thank God. I have no side effects with this. So as I encourage myself, I'm going to also encourage you, as I've always done, no matter what you're going through, no matter what's, you're facing. This is the end of the year. Today is what? The 29th? I think today's the 29th. We're about to approach into a new year. The mentality that you have had in 2023, have a different mentality for 2024. Go in there fresh. Just knowing that God is able and that there is nothing impossible for him. Absolutely nothing. My doctor is like, do you have any headaches? Do you have this? I'm like, no. The question she's asking me, I'm like, nope, I don't have those issues. Like, nope, I'm fine. I don't have that pain. I don't have this. I don't have that. No, thank God. So through it all, you still have something to give God thanks for. So I'm looking forward to 2024. I'm looking forward to celebrating my son's first birthday. I'm looking forward to just growing more in God. I'm looking forward to blowing the doctor's minds even more and just letting them continue to know that, boy, Stacy always had faith. No matter when I gave her bad news, she always had faith. And when I gave good news, she always said, yep, that's the God I serve. So I'm going to end the video here on this note, and I'm going to follow up and let you know, when I do my CT scan and my blood work and stuff like that. I'll keep you all posted. For those of you who have been praying with me and for me, I do appreciate it. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Like, share, and subscribe. Take care. Bye-bye.